Good evening and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Friday evening. Massive show to bring you guys tonight. But before we jump into that, please do me a small favour, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get straight on into it. On the show tonight, we are going to be talking about Manchester United's pursuit of Oscar Zambrano, and will there be a late bid for the player? We'll be talking about that. We'll also be talking about a potential bidding war for Wan-Bissaka, with two Premier League clubs apparently battling it out to get their hands on Aaron. So we'll be talking about that. Some other on some of the youth players that are going, with Pelistri on the brink of moving to Granada. So of course we'll talk Wan-Bissaka plus cash for Michael Elise. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, if that deal was on the cards, I would definitely go and do it. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a good player. Is he world class? I'm not sure. I think he was last season world class at his one-on-one defending, but I think he's been a little bit, I wouldn't say he's been poor, but I think he's let his standards slide a little bit this season. So for me personally, as I've said to you lot many times before, I think there's probably only 2 or 3 players in our current squad that are untouchable. For me personally, them being Martinez, Lisandro Martinez, that is, Rasmus Højlund, because we've just signed him and I think, you've got to give him a chance, and Kobe Mainoo. Other than that, I think the rest of them, their jobs are on the line, really. Luke Shaw, Maguire, Varane, Casemiro, McTominay, etc., Onana. Imagine tomorrow, right? A story comes up saying £40 million bid for Luke Shaw. I imagine most people in the fan base would say take it. If there was a £40 million bid for Onana, most people in the fan base would take it. So I think for me, Wan-Bissaka kind of falls into that same camp. I think he's a decent player. Is he good enough to be playing for Manchester United every single week if we are aspiring to win Premier Leagues and maybe Champions Leagues? I don't think so personally. I think he's very good defensively. I think he's got better going forward, but I still don't think he's kind of the wing back that Erik Ten Hag needs for his system. Now, as I've said to you guys many times on the show before, obviously, if the manager was to change, if you were bring in someone else, maybe Wan-Bissaka would suit the new manager. So it's difficult to say, but at this moment in time, I think Dalot is actually better suited to what Erik Ten Hag is trying to do personally, because I think Dalot is a lot more better going forward. He's even chipped in with a couple of goals this season from shots outside the box, and I think the Dalot, obviously, I don't know. I just have more of an excitement about Diogo Dalot. I think Wan-Bissaka has been good for us. Don't get me wrong. I think he was one of our best players last season, but he's going to be 27 this year, and I kind of feel like he's not going to get any better than where he is now. So if West Ham and Crystal Palace are, bidding for him and a decent offer comes in, the internet has gone. I'm not sure what's happened here. Can everyone still hear me? Let me know in the comment section. All right, my camera is being very naughty tonight. All right, let's try that again. Sorry, everybody. I think I'm back. Okay. As I was saying, yeah, I think, nobody's position is 100%, safe. But, yeah, I think the camera's back again now. Yeah, the camera's back again. Sorry, everybody. Don't know what happened there. Hello, I'm here. Don't worry. Anyway, back on with the show. If West Ham and Crystal Palace do come in with bids, I think Wan-Bissaka probably is someone that Man United will look to move on, to be honest. I don't think he really suits what Erik ten Hag's trying to do. And personally, as much as I respect what he's done at the club, I don't think, he's untouchable personally. So for me, I would happily sell him to either West Ham or Crystal Palace. Now, the only thing we need to talk about here is money. How much money is Wan-Bissaka worth? Again, let me know in the comment section. What kind of fee would you expect United to receive for Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Now, we paid quite a lot of money for him, as we do with every single transfer in the history of Manchester United. We paid about £45 million for him. That was in 2019, about 4 or 5 years ago. I think he'd be worth somewhere between 30 and 40 million. I think that would be a fair price for Wan-Bissaka, and I would happily take that at this point. Maybe 35 million. I think that would be a good price. We know West Ham have still got a load of money from the Declan Rice sale, so they're definitely going to have money to spend. I mean, I saw today, right? This just sums up where Man United are as a team. West Ham are on the brink of signing Calvin Phillips and Emile Smith-Rowe on loan this window. I mean, they're already above us. They're still in Europe. And they're signing 2 players who, okay, maybe Emile Smith-Rowe isn't that good, but Calvin Phillips, when he was at Leeds, was unbelievable. And I think honestly, Calvin Phillips would get in our team. And I know people would say, oh, he's come from Leeds. I don't want him anywhere near Manchester United. I get all of that. But if you actually look at our squad at the moment, I genuinely think Calvin Phillips would get in our squad 100%. We're playing Christian Eriksen at CDM. He's never played at CDM in his whole career. Doesn't make any sense to me, really, but hopefully we get a big bid in. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Daniel says 30 million for Wan-Bissaka. Mark says 40 to 45. Stretford Gamer says 40 million for Wan-Bissaka. Paul says 25-30. So does SRC. Ian says 40 million. I mean, yeah, it's all kind of somewhere between 25 to 45 million. And I think that's a reasonable kind of ballpark figure. His contract expires next year, but there's the option of an extra year. So he's got about a year and a half left on his deal. So either he signs a new contract in the summer, or he probably will go he'll probably go. And I would do that deal. If Wan-Bissaka could go to Crystal Palace and we get Michael Elise and maybe we give Crystal Palace another 20 million or something, I think that would be good business, because we know that Erik ten Hag wants someone like Frimpong. Right, let's talk a little bit about Oscar Zambrano then, because this is a player that really, really excites me. So if anybody doesn't know who Oscar Zambrano is, he is Ecuadorian, 19 years of age. He's being described as the next Moises Caicedo. Now, it's not just because he's from Ecuador. It's because he's a CDM. He's obviously currently playing in the Ecuadorian league. Very, very similar profile to Moises Caicedo before he moved to Brighton. Still very, very young. Very, very talented, has a very high ceiling. Now, it looked like Oscar Zambrano was going to move to Bournemouth, which I know some people will say, why are we going after a player that's going to Bournemouth? I don't believe in all that, all right? Bournemouth are still a good side. Moises Caicedo went to Brighton, and I'm sure at the time people said, oh, we don't want Moises Caicedo, he's Brighton quality. These are still good sides. They're Premier League level sides. Bournemouth beat us 3-0 at Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago, so we've got to show respect to the other clubs in the Premier League. Now, the club that he currently plays for, which is called LDU Quito, their president has come out and said that ultimately the claims that he's on the brink of moving to Bournemouth are true. He says there is nothing formal or definitive. We have to wait. It will be the best for the player and for the institution. The transfers have not been closed. We will see what will happen in the coming days. Now, and the headline is that the club president of Oscar Zambrano's team gives Manchester United massive transfer boost. Now, would I sign this player? I would, 100%. The fee that apparently they're asking for is around 5 million. That is absolutely nothing in the modern game. When you think that Moises Caicedo went to Brighton for about 5 million 3-4 years ago, and then Brighton sold him to Chelsea for over 100, this is another one of those situations where if we let this transfer slip, I think he'll go to one of these clubs, and in a couple of years, everyone will be talking about this player, because from the research I've done of this guy, he looks like the real deal. He looks really, really solid. So I would definitely try and get this deal done. Will Manchester United do it? Who knows with Manchester United anymore? We'll probably go and sign somebody on loan who nobody wants. That's the reality of this club at the moment. Oscar Zambrano is somebody we should 100% be getting in this window. 5 million is nothing. Big ups to Ian Pritch, who has just joined the Daily Red Devils Members Club. Thank you very much for your support. Really, really appreciated. If people do want to join the Members Club, we're doing it for 99p at the moment. So it's really cheap. Obviously, massively helps support the channel. I've just put a link in the chat. If you hit the $, you can join. It's only 99p. Yeah, so if you are in a position to get involved, if you are in a position to support the channel, please do that. You can either hit the $, and join that way. I think you can gift memberships as well. So yeah, if you are in a position to support and you do enjoy the shows, please do get involved in the Members Club. Obviously, all your support is appreciated. And welcome Ian, who is the latest member of the Daily Red Devil Members Club. Right, so obviously we spoke about Oscar Zambrano. We spoke about Wan-Bissaka. A couple of bits of updates on players leaving the club as well for you. The main one is Pellistri. Pellistri is on the brink of moving to Granada. That deal is almost done. That will probably be announced in the next couple of days. It will be a straight loan. No obligation to buy, no buy clause. It will just be a loan to Granada. And from what I'm hearing today, Man United will extend his contract. He's got 18 months left of his current deal, but Man United have the option to extend it by a further 12 months. So from what I'm hearing, they'll trigger that extension, meaning that he'll have about 28 months left of his contract, which is about 2.5 years, which is more than enough time, you know. He'll only go on loan for 6 months. He'll come back in the summer. He'll have about 2 years left on his deal at that point. Man United will either try and implement him into the squad, or if he has a successful loan spell at Granada, but Erik ten Hag or whoever the manager might be then doesn't like him, he'll then be moved on for a fee. And I think this is the right decision to do, you know. There's people in the fan base screaming, why are we getting rid of Pellistri? Why did we get rid of Hannibal? Like, I get all of that, but these players aren't Cristiano Ronaldo, you know? They're not tearing the world alight at the age of 18, 19. They're simply not those types of people. I know, you know, some people will say, oh, if they're good enough, it doesn't matter what their age are. But I don't genuinely believe that Pellistri and Hannibal are world-class players, personally. I think that Garnacho is potentially a world-class player in the future, and I think he's shown lots of signs that make me think that Garnacho could reach that level. And I can see why Garnacho gets picked, because he is a quality player. He is. Whereas I haven't really seen that from Pellistri and Zidane Iqbal, especially not Zidane Iqbal, Hannibal Mejbri. Like, yeah, I just don't think they're on that level. And I think it's easy for, you know, United fans to criticise Erik ten Hag and say, what's he doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. Why is he getting rid of Pellistri? Why is Antony not starting? Like, Erik ten Hag has to pick Antony, or he at least has to be part of the squad. He spent 100 million euros on him. He was his big transfer last season. You know, he put his neck on the line, Erik ten Hag, to bring Antony to Manchester United from Ajax. He has to try and make Antony work. So I understand. I understand why these people are being moved out of the club. It frees up wages as well. We spoke about this on the show this morning a little bit, but if you add up the wages that we're saving from Jadon Sancho going, Donny van de Beek going, Pellistri, Hannibal, Dan Gore's on the brink of leaving, a couple of others have left. There'll be about 6 or 7 people who've left the squad in this window, you know, all ranging up from Jadon Sancho on 300 grand a week all the way down to maybe a Dan Gore who might be on a couple of grand a week. But it's still money that's coming back into the club. It's still money which is then readily available to use on other players to bring in, whether that be a loan, whether that be a signing like Choupo-Moting potentially. Like, there's lots of different options we have in these final 10 or 11 days of the window, and I do think we will see some activity happen. We've just got to be patient. And what I'm hoping for is that I'm hoping that it's going to be this Oscar Zambrano guy. Stretford Gamer says, Kieran, Choupo-Moting might be coming to United. Do you think he'll get more goals than Weghorst? I don't think he'll get any more than Weghorst. I think it'll be about the same. Like, Choupo-Moting over his career has done quite well. Like, I know people rip on him because he was at Stoke for a little bit and everyone's like, why are we going for a Stoke reject and all the rest of it, which I think is a little bit harsh. He was at Stoke for 1 year. You know, he has played around Europe for most of his career, you know, mainly in the Bundesliga. He's only got 2 goals this season in the Bundesliga, though, which, to be honest, is pretty poor, isn't it, in 15 games. But I don't know. Do I want Choupo-Moting? I don't think so. I don't think we need him personally. I don't. I think, Rasmus Højlund should get as much game time as possible this season. I know people will say maybe it's tampering with his development and all the rest of it, but for me personally, I would rather just give Pellistri on opportunity, not Pellistri, sorry, Rasmus Højlund. I would rather give Rasmus Højlund the opportunities and really, really let him implement into the Premier League, because you bring in Choupo-Moting, and next thing you know, Rasmus Højlund will be sat on the bench for a 35-year-old who is only going to be here for 6 months on loan from Bayern. Like, I don't personally want that. I would much rather Rasmus gets as much opportunities as possible, see how many goals he ends up with on the end of the season, and then next season he can try and hit the ground running. I just don't want Rasmus to be put out of the picture. Ian says we could have bought better players if the Glazers had paid their own legal fees. Yeah, I mean, that's a disgrace, isn't it? For anybody who doesn't know what Ian's talking about, so for this whole sale process to Jim Ratcliffe, right? The Glazers obviously employed, I think I saw as many as 200 lawyers at one time to help them with the sale to Jim Ratcliffe for this 25%. And apparently all of the costs involved with the Glazers' legal representation for the sale, Manchester United are having to pay for. So even though the Glazers are taking the money and putting it in their pocket, X amount of money, I think it's about £150 million each per Glazer for the stake they're selling. They're not using their own money to pay the solicitors. They're using the club's money. I mean, it's a disgrace. And I think, as Ian says in the chat, like, if that money was ultimately not stolen from us, we could have probably signed a player, for 15 million or something. But it is what it is, and we are where we are. And I think you can only get so worked up about these things because nothing's going to change the way we're going. And I think you just have to kind of hope for the best at this point. The protests have stopped. The Glazers out movement has gone. They've effectively won. So we've just got to hope that Jim Ratcliffe knows what he's doing and that it improves. That's all we can really do. Yeah, we've just got to hope. Right, I'm gonna have to wrap the video up here, guys. I've got about 50 boxes of merchandise, not related to this, related to my daytime, my other business, but yeah, I've got loads of stuff about to arrive in about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna have to go and meet the delivery driver. I hope everyone has a lovely evening. Hope you all do something nice this weekend. I haven't decided whether there'll be videos on Saturday and Sunday yet. At the moment, I've had a bit of a break on the weekend. Obviously, there's no football, so I might just have a bit of time off. But I'll either see you tomorrow or I'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Please don't forget to like the video before you go. Please subscribe as well. Doesn't cost any money. Get involved. Have a good evening, everybody, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon.